Okay, so let's go and review for the test coming up on Monday. So this is a review. So I'm going to kind of jump around between problems and pages. So first, let's go to page 36. So first, you need to know the identities and the inverse. So if you look at number 7, it asks what is the multiplicative identity. So multiplicative identity is a number that you multiply and that will not change the number. The answer is 1. Okay? So when you multiply by 1, the answer remains identical. The number remains identical. It doesn't change. So multiplicative identity is 1. Okay? Now same thing if you go to page 37, the set 2, okay, number 3. Okay, it asks what is the additive identity. So the answer is 0, because when you have a number and you add 0, the number stays same, stay identical. That's what that means, right? So again, additive identity means you add you have number, you add the 0 and you end up the stay identical. So again, the multiplicative identity is 1, because when you multiply by 1, the number stay the same. The additive identity is 0, because when you add 0, the number stay the same. So again, identity, the way to remember is think about the word identical. So a number, how are you going to make the number stay identical? Well, you multiply by 1, right? Or you add 0, right? So that's what that is. So make sure you know this, okay? Because on the test, you're going to have, the 4 problems, that's 5 points each. So there's 20 points. So if you get all this confused, then there goes 20 points. Okay. Now, next thing you have to know is the inverse. Okay, so let's go back to page 36 and look at number 8. Number 8, it says, what is the additive inverse? So additive inverse is the opposite. So the additive inverse of 4 is -4. It's just the opposite. Okay. And then you go to page 37. And then you go to number 6. Okay, it says, what is the multiplicative inverse of -1/6? So multiplicative inverse is flip it upside down, or the reciprocal. So when you flip it upside down, you get -6. Okay, so make sure you know these 4 problems. So again, so identities and inverse, you need to know which is which. So make sure you know them. Okay, now the rest of them is you need to know what to do with the absolute values. Okay, so let's go back to page 36, and let's go and do a few of absolute values. So like number 15, you have +5 minus absolute value of -2. So to simplify, first you need to able to simplify the absolute value. So that's going to take care of that first. So you're going to get +5 minus, and the absolute value of -2 becomes +2. So now you have subtraction. So you need to know how to do subtractions. To do subtraction, you need to go and convert into addition. And to convert into addition, you need to change 2 signs. Okay, so change 2 signs. And so now you look, there are different kinds. One is positive, one is negative. Then you have to subtract the numbers. So the number would be 3, and you follow the sign of the higher number, so answer would be 3. So make sure you know how to do the absolute values. Okay, let's continue with page 36. Then you need to know how to do the multiplication and divisions. So when you have multiplication and divisions, if you have two of the same type of signs, then it becomes positive. Okay, so like number 12, you have -8 divided by -4. So 2 of the same sign, it becomes positive. So answer would be +2. So you need to be able to figure out if the answer is positive or negative when you have the division. Okay. Now another type of division is like number 35. So -25 over -5. Again, this means division. Remember what I mentioned, right? You see the symbol for division symbol? That is where it came from. The dot on the top is the number on the top. The 9 is this line over here. Okay? The dot on the bottom is the number on the bottom. So this is the division. So you need to know what to do with this. So division, two are the same sign, so the answer is positive. So cover it up. 25 divided by 5, the answer is 5. And that's it. Okay? Let's continue on. Another thing you need to know is you need to know what to do with when you have 0 is involved. Okay. So when you have, let's go to page 38, and you have like page 38 and like number 29. You have 0 divided by 2. So when you have 0 on top, that's okay. So answer is equal to 0. Okay. But when you have like number 25 on page 38, you have 1 over 0. So in this case, you cannot divide by 0. So in this case, the answer would be undefined. And that would be your answer. So make sure you box your answer so I know what is your final answer. So box your answers. The next thing you need to know what to do is you need to know how to multiply the mixed numbers. So the way to study for test is, again, just kind of make sure you kind of practice the review exercises. Okay? So let's go back to page 36. And let's go to number 29. You have -2 and 2/3 times 2 and 1/2. So to multiply, you need to convert into improper fraction. So this becomes -8 over 3, and this becomes 5 over 2. Now when you multiply, don't multiply out into big number and then try to reduce, because it just makes things complicated. So what you want to do is you want to reduce. So notice 2 and 8 both are divisible by 2, right? So divide this by 2, you get 1. Divide this by 2, you get -4. And that's all you can cancel. So the answer would be -20 over 3. And that's it. Okay. So don't multiply out. Don't do this. Don't make into -40 over 6. Don't multiply out, make into big number, and then you have to worry about reducing. You just make things difficult. Okay. So don't do that. Just go and reduce first before you multiply. Okay. Okay. Next thing you do is you need to know how to do the translation, like number 39. Okay, you need to know what does that mean, right? So on page 36, number 39. So you have the subtract -6 from -10. So you need to know how to translate these, right? So subtract means minus, right? And -6 means -6. But you want to subtract this from that. So that means this has to go to the front. So subtract it from, make sure you understand that this go to the front. So now you have subtraction. So now you need to convert into addition, right? So to convert into addition, you need to change 2 signs. You need to change 2 of them, not just 1. You need to change 2. And now you look, okay, there are different kinds, so you have to subtract the numbers. So you get 4. If it's same kind, you add. Different kind, you subtract. And you follow the sign of the higher number. So higher number is negative, so the answer is negative. Now let's go to the next one. Okay, you need to know how to also need to know how to subtract the fractions, like number 30. So you have 29 over 5 plus -3 over 2. So first check, okay, it's addition, so you're good, but the denominator are different, so you need to make into common denominator. So 5 and 2, the common denominator is 10. So 5 and 2 is 10. So you have 29 over 5 plus -3 over 2. So first check, okay, it's addition, so you're good, but the denominator are different, so you need to make into common denominator. So 5 and 2, the common denominator is 10. Okay, so normally this is what you do. Okay, so go and get your common denominator first, and then you have to figure out how you're going to get from here to here. You need to multiply by 2, right? So put a little note over here to remind you that you have to multiply by 2. So this will give you 58, right? 29 times 2 give you 58. From here to here, you need to multiply by 5. So multiply by 5, you get negative 15. Okay. So now these are different kinds, right? One is positive, one is negative, so they are different. So you have to subtract the number. So you get 43, and you follow the higher number sign, and so it would be 43 over 10. And check, see if you can reduce. If you cannot, and that's it. Okay, now let's go back up to number 19. Number 19, you have negative 7 minus 3. So you have subtraction, so you need to convert into addition. So you need to change 2 signs, but there's no 2 signs. So there's only 1 sign. So what you're going to do? Well, what you need to do, you have to realize that you can put a plus back over here, okay, so that you get 2 signs. So you can go and do the flipping and the change, right? So you got negative 7 plus minus 3. Okay, so if there's no sign means positive, so you can add that onto there. So you can do the switching. So convert that into addition. So you got same kind of numbers. So same kind, you add the numbers, you get 10. Right, same kind, you add a number, you get 10, and you follow the sign over there, so it'll be negative. So answer would be negative 10. Okay. Okay. Let's see what else we know. Okay, so that's kind of it.